Hey divine stars, how's it going? I hope you guys are well and this video finds you in great health. So today I really want to talk about mental wellness, mental illness, mental discomfort and all of these things that are to do with our mental health. Now, I want to share my story. I'm going to share some tips that can help you that I feel help me, and just shed some light on something that is very personal to me, but I know a lot of other people go through it. And recently, the recent passing of Joella Olivia has really just sent a ripple of like sadness, shock, horror, everything through the Birmingham community. And I just want to take like a leaf out of her strength, her bravery, through her sharing her story, and see how I can also help in sharing my story. I've shared about mental health before, but that was many years ago, and I think why not share it now? So if this is something that you feel like you can benefit from, or even if not just yourself, like do share with a loved one or anybody really. Yeah, so let's get to it. So for me, my journey in mental discomfort or mental illness, because it's not mental health because I wasn't healthy in the time. So I'm really trying to figure out that label and what that actually looks like for me. I was 18 and I had my first experience of mental illness, and that was off the back of a dispute, a violation within my surroundings, and it kind of sent me spiraling down. And I literally just was not in my body. I wasn't in my mind. I wasn't in my right mind. I was suicidal. I was just really hallucinating and all of these different things. And I did seek out professional help. With the help of my family, that's what they felt like I needed. And I experienced professional help, and I went away to an assessment center for 4 weeks, where in which I realized that, you know what, girl, get your shit together, because there's real people going through real life situations. So I'm not trying to diminish what I went through or dilute what I went through. It's more of the thing of like, I wasn't there, I wasn't really in that kind of like in that sunken place, but I was experiencing something obviously traumatic for me to even end up in that space. So I went through that. At the time I was doing my A levels, so I was in sixth form, and for me, I felt like my whole experience was like I became paranoid. I didn't know who to trust, because someone made a fake Facebook account of me and put in inappropriate pictures of me on there. Now, in my defense, I did take the pictures, right? But I did not create the Facebook account. So for me, it was like, well, who was able to get that close to me to be able to send those pictures to their phone? Because back then it wasn't even like Bluetooth, it was infrared. Yeah, that's how long ago this was. Like, I know you Gen Z guys are gonna be like, infrared, what is that? So that's how long ago my first episode was. So I had paranoia. I didn't know who to trust. My family was not all my family, but some was not as loving and liking towards me and the situation. So that also then had an effect on me, because I was like, nobody likes me, nobody loves me, this is not even my fault from the situation that happened. And I didn't feel heard. I didn't feel like I had a voice. So that kind of just left me in my head, and I didn't feel like I was good enough to even be in this time and space, because the very people that loved me then turned their back on me and wasn't supporting me the way I thought they would. But I realized that, people can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves, and they can only truly support you to the degree of where they've supported themselves. So sometimes some things may happen and it might trigger other people then to then face themselves, and if people don't want to do that, then they will just project that back onto you. That's my reasoning and understanding now. So as time went on, there was a time where, the support workers would come out and see me and all of these things. And I was still getting on with life. I was still going to college. I still had the aspirations of going to uni, still did all of these things. But there was still this thing that I had experienced that, to some people I would speak about it quite openly, and to others it's not your business. And as I was going on through school, college, and stuff, I would face relapses. So I didn't know essentially what my triggers were. But now, in retrospect, I see that because I didn't deal with a lot of things in my childhood and things like this, it was like all the things that I had suppressed were coming up, and they were coming up thick and fast. And there was just like no space to, like, okay, what's this situation here? Let's compartmentalize this thing and let's deal with this. It was just all coming up, and it was quite erratic, traumatic. But what I found is that my experience was based on, like, I didn't feel worthy enough. I didn't feel good enough. I felt like I was like, yeah. And that wasn't just not only on my point of view, it's because other people had made me feel that way, and people that I considered to love me, people that I was supposed to be my people. So it didn't make sense. So going through that, still doing up life and stuff. When I was at uni now, I learned a lot more about it in a more professional sense, more academic sense. And I even come to learn that the violation that I had experienced wasn't my fault, because there was this whole like workshop, like Women's Aid came in and they did a whole workshop on it, and I was like, hold on, that's what's happened to me. So I seen it from a whole different point of view, and I was thinking, what? I don't need to be being self-destructive. Somebody needs to take responsibility for their actions, or their lack thereof actions, so that kind of gave me a bit of reassurance to know, no, you are worthy, you are meant to be here, and stuff like that. So I continued on through uni and stuff. I didn't complete uni, and I have no kind of regrets of that. It's more of that I just needed to do what I needed to do for myself and to better myself in life, really, in my own inner being, not just what the society wants of me, but what do I want of myself, and who am I, and there was a lot of traumatic things that I needed to just look at and learn from, and just unpack and do it in a space that was safe and loving and kind. And I really just needed to fall back in love with myself, because when you've gone through trauma, and especially childhood trauma as well, there's a part of you that's a bit tarnished, not because of any fault of your own, but simply for the fact of, like, someone has come into your space, right, and violated your space, your essence of who you are. You were brought here, ordained by the Most High, and someone's come and thought that they can have authority and governance over your being. How disrespectful that is. So I had to relearn and reconnect to who I am, so I can be here today, even sharing my story with whoever watches it. So that kind of was my journey. In the details of my, like, relapses and things like that, that kind of just was like it. I see that as that is personal to each individual, because everyone can go through mental illness, but I think what comes up for you is dependent on what you've experienced in your personal life. But if I didn't, some of the things that helped me through that is because I had loving people around me, my mother, my sister, my grandma, some of my cousins, they really wanted the best for me. They really wanted me to overcome and to be in a better space. And even some of the mental health professionals, they seen something in me that was like, no, this girl doesn't need to go down this road. What is actually going on? And just finding my place in this thing we call Earth, and that really helped me. Where I'm at now, where I haven't really had that much relapses or experiences, I'm in a better coping space. I'm more thriving, more happy, more loving, I have a better self-love relationship with myself, and better boundaries in place. And I do the work. You know what I mean? I do the work. I'm not afraid to do the work. I'm not afraid to get dark with it, get ugly with it, get whatever it needs to get in order to get uprooted and for this to pass on. This too shall pass, you know. So with some of my coping mechanisms that I've used now is that I play. I when I say play, I mean, like, I don't take myself too seriously. So if I want to dance, I'm gonna dance. You know what I mean? Dance like nobody's watching, dance like everybody's watching. Just dance. I sing, whether I'm singing in key or not in key. Just sing. Liberate yourself. Don't be so judgmental on yourself, because society does that enough. So why should you have that type of relationship with yourself? You know what I mean? If I need professional support, you know, if things get too heavy, I'm not afraid to go and ask or seek out professional help, you know. And with the recent passing of a dear friend and creative friend as well, is that I realized that, you know what, speak, share your story, share your vibrations, share your heart, you know, but in a way that's like also you being safe within yourself. So have boundaries, protect your peace. Most importantly, protect your peace and protect your heart space. You can share your heart, but protect it also, you know. And I really rate myself, you know, in this time and space. I rate myself, I like myself, and I believe that everybody should have that kind of relationship with themselves. Although people will say that you're being big-headed or whatever it is, I don't really care about what labels you choose to label it as. I like myself, and I'm going to continue liking myself, continue loving myself, continue just being who I need to be for myself. Why? Because I'm chosen, baby, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Yes, other things that I do is I journal. I write out my thoughts. You know, I have a creative writing background, so I used to do spoken word and poetry. So if I feel like a poem comes out of this, I will write a poem. I will just write without any judgment of what I'm writing. I will just write, you know. Some of my journal entries begin with like, "Hey beautiful, how are you?" And I just respond and I just speak whatever I need to speak. And that's my space and time for me, you know, to really just express myself. I love going out into nature, and I do encourage everybody to have a relationship with nature, to go out into nature, to go for a walk, run, whatever it is that you need to do. Find your way into nature, because there's so many healing properties within nature that you can really and truly overcome what you think you can't overcome. Nowadays I go gym. Yeah, I am what you want to call a gym rat, but I'm not no rat. So I go gym. I like the gym. I love the gym. When I first started going to the gym, I never had that relationship with the gym. I was like, what is this? No, really, like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? But now that I've found that kind of like sweet spot, like the gym is my go-to, because when you're in your head a lot, you need to get into your body. You need to get back into your body. You need to feel alive, and going to the gym helps me do that, you know. I did take up swimming, you know, because I had a fear of like open water and stuff like that, and I've overcome that fear now. But because of all of his hair and it soaks up all the water, it's kind of like, that's like, yeah, we just need to figure that one out. But for you, if you like to be in water or be near water, you know, do swimming. Like, I love the ocean. I love being by the ocean and hearing the waves, and you know, I am a nature baby, you know, 1.0, really and truly. So I go to where I find peace and joy and love. Other things I would say is create an ecosystem of support of loved ones. And I'm not saying that these people just have to be, you know, your support. Like, you can support them as well, but have people around you that you trust, that you love, that love you, you know. Really hone in on that. Make your surroundings and the people you have around you warm. Make it be warm, make it be loving, make it be kind and gentle and peaceful, because that's what you need. If you are at war with yourself, you don't need to be in war with other people. You need to just have peaceful, loving, kind, gentle people around you that are truly for you, you know. Another thing I would say is find hobbies, find things that bring you joy, whether that's any form of sport or activity. I do roller skating now, and I remember when I was younger, I used to go to do roller skating and I really enjoyed it. So I picked it back up in my adulthood, and it's beautiful, and you meet people and you're learning and you're just having fun. Just remember to have fun in life. Like, there's so much seriousness in life, so find those moments of joy and fun for yourself. Another thing that I would say is that, and this is dependent because everybody's situation is different, and I am aware that some people could be clinically unwell as well. But even if you are clinically unwell and you do have to take medication and all of these things, you can still find your joyous moments in life. So everything else that I've just said does apply to you. Like, don't think that you're separate from society. Like, you are a part of that ecosystem, so you too have to find things that bring you joy and make you happy, and you can elevate yourself and really experience the fullness and the wholeness of your life. Yeah, so those are a few tips, and one just came to my mind. How could I ever forget music? Listen to music. Like, I love classical music. I don't always know what they're saying, but I really, really enjoy classical music, opera, different frequencies that just allow energy to move through your body and you can feel, and you know what I mean, and just allow yourself to flow, because that's what essentially life is all about, is finding your so the video cut off, my bad. So yeah, essentially life is all about finding your flow, finding your rhythm, finding the things that bring you joy. Yes, so just know, if you are going through any form of mental illness, discomfort, know you are not alone. And I know life is hard, and you have to find out what your triggers are. You have to find them, and you have to be the warrior in your journey. You have to take control of the situation. You cannot allow the situation to take control of you. You have to find a reasoning to live, to want to be here, right? Even when it gets too much up here, find ways to get back into your heart space and really feel the love that the universe naturally gives us. It's not something that you earn. It's not something that you have to be a selective person to get it. It is like ordained to you. You're here to love and to give love. So really, when you feel like you're out of sync with that, find what your triggers are, find your tools and your coping mechanisms, and really and truly get radical about that. Self-love is the best love, and the best relationship that you could ever have is the relationship that you have with yourself. And if anybody, I mean anybody, turns you against yourself, let them go. Let them go, because on my journey, that's what I've come to realize now in my 30s. I'm like, hold on, something's going on here. I realize all these situations that I may have experienced, which have been kind of traumatic for me or have set me away from myself, is that person has made me turn against myself, right? And that looks like self-sabotage, because if I didn't have that experience with that person, I would have been all right within my vibration. They've come, messed up what's going on here, right? Left their funk here, and now I'm against myself, because essentially I was like, well, I didn't have my own back. I didn't speak up for myself. I didn't protect myself. I didn't do all of these things. So I'm now against me, right? But what we have to learn and change the narrative is like, no, the narrative needs to be changed. I love me. I care for me. So now I have boundaries in place. Now if there's any sign of anything that makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm out. Whereas before I probably didn't have those boundaries. I probably looked very like an easy target, quite impressionable and all of those things. But now it's like, no, that's not going to be the case, and I don't need to test that. I don't need any experiences to come into my life to test my boundaries. It is firm in what I believe and know for myself, and that is it. It just is. It is what it is, right? And You know, my journey now is learning forgiveness. My journey now is letting go of all of the things that once was. My journey now is just living in my abundance and my light and my love. And that is my prayer for you too. If you're going through any hard times, I hope and pray that you find your time, where your space where you can really live in the truth of who you are, where you can really live in the light of who you are, the love of who you are, and whatever your shadow side is, you can bring it into the light. You can, they both can coexist. They can do a lovely dance together, you know, and you will see that that's the yin and yang of life, you know, and you find yourself just flowing with whatever needs to be flown with. You know, life is full of hills and valleys, right? And sometimes you're on the hill and everything feels great and beautiful, and then sometimes you go into those valleys. Yeah, you go into those valleys, into that gutter, and it feels like you can't get out, right? And for some people, they don't, and it's sad. Yeah, it's very sad and it hurts. It really does hurt. But when you're in that gutter, try and find that light, and you'll realize that, hang on, I'm in the gutter, but I'm also the light within the gutter. So let me shine a light on what's going on around me, and let's see how I can really raise up my energy out of this. What can I do? You know, we have our higher self, we have our lower self, our higher nature, our lower nature. They always will exist as we are existing in life. So when you feel like you're in your lower nature and you're entertaining that vibration of yourself and you've kind of had enough, see how you can elevate yourself higher. You know, my thing, I love to draw, I love to paint, you know, I love to express myself. My thing is that express yourself, don't suppress yourself, you know, higher heights always. And I share that with you because I want you to be in a position and a place within yourself where you are expressing yourself, you know, because you matter. And it's not about how other people are going to feel about what you're saying. You're doing it because you know that's right for you. You know what I mean? People don't want to hurt people's feelings, but how are you? You're hurting your feelings when you're not expressing your truth. And that doesn't make sense, you know, because you're here to experience life just like anybody else is. So nobody is more important than the other person. You're here to experience your journey in your life. So you matter. There's support out there. There's love out there in abundance. I love you. I may not even know you, but I love you and I send you my love, you know. I send you my heart and my love and all of that. You know, I still have to keep a little bit back for me, you know. So I'm sending you my love, but I still gotta keep a little love for me, you know. Then we're gonna have boundaries here. But yeah, man, just know you're not alone and know you can make a way through. So if this video does help you in any way, please do leave a comment, you know, and like, share, subscribe, and all of that great stuff. And until next time, remember to stay divine, stay excellent, and remember to let love guide you. Peace. Oh, and just one thing I just forgot to mention: meditation. Meditate to elevate, you know, and meditation can look like anything for you, right? You can do seating meditation, you can do walking meditation, you can do running meditation, dancing, singing. It's all meditation. It's all a form of you getting back into tune with yourself. So meditation can look like what it needs to look like for you. Meditation can even look like cooking. You know, you just really enjoy making your meal, chopping up the veg, putting the rice in. I don't know, whatever it is that you make, but that's your meditation. Meditation can be you sitting down reading a book. It can be you reading scriptures from the Bible. It can be you praying. Meditation can be you in the garden, tending to your garden. You know, meditation can be you doing your martial arts, you know, or making clothes, designing, fashion, interior design. Whatever brings you back into yourself and gives you a sense of stillness and love and oneness, do that, you know. Meditation is the umbrella, but for you that can look like whatever it needs to look like. But just remember that, and always remember to breathe. Deep breathing. It has been said that we don't breathe deep enough, but the deeper we breathe, the more we get conscious within our body, and the more we can even navigate the energy within our body, you know. And I think that is a very beautiful thing, and Wim Hof is a great teacher of that. And I do listen to his videos and things like this, and he speaks on that. He speaks on deep breathing and getting into your body, you know, and he does the cold therapy exercises where, you know, once you get into that coldness, you know, your mind has to just kind of just not necessarily shut down, but you have to become alive in your body. And I think that is his kind of mission and message, is to get people more into their body. And that's how he come to find his way there. And he went through his own trauma that brought him to the water, to then be a teacher of the water for the people. And everybody's got their different methods and ways, and you have to find yours. And, you know, if you do choose to go on any form of retreat or into any form of like collective or community, you know, be sure to do your due diligence, right? Because you have to make sure that you align with that vibration of that space, you know, because you are essentially in a vulnerable place. So you don't want to then go into a space and then you don't feel safe in that space. So find your safe space, you know, whether you go into a safe space or you create your own safe space, and know that you can become a beacon of light for other people. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the person that's just living in your shadows and feeling like everybody else has light but you. You can activate your light again and share your light, share your story, and just truly elevate yourself. So yeah, I missed that out, but I hope this helps. I genuinely do hope it helps. And yeah, stay well.